Regaisi said he has arrived.
He's having internet connections. I thought the internet's pretty good in Norway, but he often turns up late, and I always wonder why they've actually reset the clock. Now, should they do that, or should they punish him for turning up late? I'm kind of like, punish him for turning up late, basically. So I'm a bit surprised they reset the clock, actually, personally.
I agree. Yeah, the game starts at a certain time, so why not start the clock?
Very interesting opening, though, at least. I mean, the perk, what we got on the board, one of the most aggressive openings that Black can try to play. A little bit disappointed with Anish's variation with White, because he could have gone for a much more aggressive setup than what he's done here, David.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't say that, Simon. I played this line with White myself.
Okay, sorry.
It's so ambitious. But can I ask, David, why, so Magnus, with the black pieces, moving 2 pawns, only 1 square, when you can move them 2 squares, why, what is the thought behind that?
Maybe he's forgotten how to move Kaya. I guess the idea is Black just wants to stay nice and solid. You want to let White come to you, and look at what Magnus has done. He actually just brought this knight out. As soon as White stepped forward, he retreated it back to its starting square. So this is just provocation. He's asking White to come too far forward, and then he'll try and counter-attack.
Do you know what, David? This happened in our game as well. On Friday, I played a slightly different setup, but he played the perk. He put his knight there. I attacked it. He went back. So it's exactly the same thing.
He literally used you as a kind of sparring partner.
Very worrying.
So guinea pig there, Simon, to test his ideas on.
I mean, he likes this idea quite a lot, doesn't he? Because he often says that White's a bit overextended, or he played at least a similar idea against me.
Yeah, he has played this before, or at least this idea in Olympiads even, so very important games. And as Kai mentions, it's maybe not the most intuitive opening for Black, losing a couple of moves and not developing kind of the most active squares. is that after you grab this pawn, your rook is on a loose square and loose pieces drop off, so White's bishop can jump out the way with a check, and this is also a discovered attack. Once the bishop is captured, the black rook will fall. And it's just about okay here. You can actually create a fork. So wait, if we go back, sorry, I just
the
realised.
baby pounces.
If we take this pawn, we see a capture. If I don't take with the king, if I take with the bishop, then rook takes rook. I could double attack your two rooks, and okay, I'll whip some material back. It still will be a draw, but at least you had some fun on the way. Instead, Magnus doesn't worry about this here. The white rook would move. We'd see him.
Oh, he's gone for it.
Well, hang on a second.
He's gone for it. He's gone for it.
Okay, so he's going to go for the same thing. So if we go back to the game position now after rook takes pawn, he's blundered into this baby trap that we talked about. Bishop takes pawn, discovered attack. Black's bishop recaptured, and now the double attack on the white rooks.
Can't believe he's blundered into another draw.
So yeah, this one is still likely to be a draw.
But he's changed it a little bit, hasn't he? And I also think I don't know if Anish is playing for draws so much, but in these kind of games, I kind of hope the person who's playing so much for draw gets punished. I think Anish, right? Yeah, I kind of think it's also a natural way the game's gone, because Magnus played this break. Exchanges are very natural, and I think Anish had to sort of back down from trying to get the advantage. Here, it is a draw, David and Jovanka, but it's which side would you take, Jovanka?
I kind of like the black side, just because the black rook can get behind the pawn, but maybe it's just going to fizzle out into a draw because Anish has played this not very accurately.
Yeah, if we jump forward to the current position, black has temporarily sacrificed a pawn, but black will win this one. And yeah, it's just a draw. Unfortunately, the rook is the wrong side for black. This rook is passive. It's actually stuck in front of its pawn. It wants to be behind the pawn, supporting it, propelling it forward. But yeah, I mean, the black king now is cut off. The black king can never really help the advance of its own pawn, and we'll just see a way for the players to repeat. Nothing much to be done. It's going to be hard for white to create a passed pawn. It's going to be hard for black to push this one to the end. The white rook is perfectly placed behind it, so I probably would choose black right now, but it's just a draw. It's just a draw, and I think we'll see that draw happen any moment, actually. Rook attacks the pawn, the black king will move, another check, and a repetition over the next few turns. Let's go back to the players. It's about to end. Not the most exciting game.
Yeah.
And a decent result for both players in the prelims, but for us spectators, slightly disappointing.
Yeah. 39 moves, still so much time on the clock. Magnus in the draw, which means 1 point and $250 for each player. We're gonna jump into another game when this one finishes here in round 2 in the Julius Baer Generation Cup.
This second
draw, doesn't it? Yeah, now
position repeats itself and a draw.
Yep.
It is a draw. Anish Giri with the white pieces. 2 draws for him so far today. It's a win and a draw for Magnus Carlsen. They now have more than half an hour